Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a truly fascinating journey. We are going to start way down at the microscopic level, literally battling the invisible forces of water damage hiding inside concrete, and then we're going to scale all the way up to a major corporate environmental milestone. We'll be looking really closely at Drizoro. They are an absolute leader in construction chemistry. We're going to explore how their advanced materials don't just shield our built environment, but how they are taking some very real, significant steps to protect our natural one as well. It's this brilliant story of top-tier engineering meeting genuine environmental responsibility.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the threat of water.
So what do you think is the absolute most destructive force in construction? Your mind might immediately jump to, dramatic events, right? Things like massive earthquakes, heavy impacts, or raging fires. But actually, scratch that. The ultimate enemy of infrastructure is way quieter. It's the slow, relentless seepage of water. Over time, that moisture carries chlorides deep inside the structure, triggering electrochemical corrosion that literally eats away at the structural steel from the inside out. Add in carbon dioxide, which causes carbonation, and those freezing and thawing cycles that crack materials wide open, and you basically have a recipe for total structural failure. Think about untreated concrete for a second. It's highly vulnerable. It's basically a giant, hard sponge just waiting to soak up water, carbonation, and chlorine. But when that same concrete is fortified by Drizoro's chemistry, the transformation is incredible. It acts as an impenetrable shield. We're talking about sealing the structure against intense positive and negative hydrostatic pressure, completely resisting harsh saltwater, and remaining entirely UV stable. And yet, and this is absolutely crucial, it remains permeable to water vapor. That means the underlying concrete substrate is still allowed to breathe.
Moving right along to Section 2, Drizoro's waterproofing solutions.
Now, they don't just rely on a single trick to make this happen. Drizoro's catalog features an incredibly broad range of technical solutions. They provide everything from high-grade waterproofing meant for massive structural dams and swimming pools to advanced carbon fiber designed for heavy-duty structural reinforcement. They also manufacture specialized facade protection for concrete and masonry, alongside quick-set mortars and some really durable industrial flooring resins. But, the core mission uniting every single one of these different categories is exactly the same: radically extending the structural longevity of our infrastructure. Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds. Spotlight on Maxial Flex. Okay, so cementitious flexible waterproofing membrane. That sounds like a whole lot of technical jargon, right? Let's demystify it. It's essentially a two-component kit. You have a highly specialized cement powder on one side and a latex liquid resin on the other. When you mix them together, you don't just get a typical hard, brittle concrete coating. You get a fully waterproof, completely non-toxic barrier that is actually flexible. And that flexibility is vital. It means the membrane can stretch over shrinkage and hairline cracks in the concrete without snapping. It acts as a highly resilient anti-fracture layer. And when we say resilient, the data is just staggering. Think about this number for a second: 9 bar. Maxial Flex can withstand a massive 9 bar of positive water pressure. That means water aggressively pushing directly against the coating. Even more impressively, it holds up against 4 bar of negative hydrostatic pressure, which is when groundwater is literally trying to force its way through the wall from the outside in. That is a massive amount of hydraulic force being held back by a membrane that's applied at just a few millimeters thick. Let's look at how this is actually used in Section 4, Application and Key Benefits. Now, what's really interesting here is that while this membrane is incredibly tough, it is also completely non-toxic. It is officially certified as safe for contact with potable or drinking water. That means it's trusted enough to line our actual drinking water reservoirs. On top of that, it acts as a total barrier to CO2 and chlorine, stopping that electrochemical corrosion we talked about earlier right in its tracks. Throw in some fiberglass mesh, and it even withstands root penetration from plants. Plus, it survives endless, brutal freeze and thaw cycles, all while still letting the underlying concrete breathe. So how do you actually apply it? It's practically a rapid micro-narrative of creating an impenetrable fortress. Step 1, you ensure the surface is clean, and you thoroughly wet it down. Step 2, you take the liquid resin and slowly add the cement powder, mixing it with a drill at about 400 to 600 RPM until you get this smooth, lump-free mixture. And Step 3, you apply it firmly. You can use a specialized brush, a broom, or even industrial spray equipment for really large areas. Give it 2 coats and your structure is completely sealed. But here is the absolute game changer for anyone in the field. Listen to this. No bonding agents, no primers. For construction professionals, this is a massive time saver. You don't have to sit around waiting for an entire flooded concrete basement to perfectly dry out before you can start sealing it. In fact, Drizoro Max Seal Flex literally demands a damp surface to adhere perfectly. You wash the wall down, you leave it damp, and you can get straight to work applying the shield.
Which brings us to a really important pivot. Section 5, the 2024 carbon footprint milestone.
So the crucial point is 2024. This explainer isn't just about the mechanics of mortar. Extending the life of a building so you don't have to tear it down and rebuild it is inherently a highly sustainable practice. But Drizoro recognized that producing high-performance materials to do that shouldn't come at the cost of the planet. So they committed to a rigorous environmental audit. They decided to extend their ethos of protection from our local infrastructure straight to the global atmosphere. It is officially declared. Drizoro has obtained the Carbon Footprint Registry Seal for the year 2024, an official recognition that accredits the measurement and registration of emissions. This isn't just greenwashing or clever marketing. This is a vital, officially accredited certification. By accurately measuring, registering, and actively working to reduce their 2024 carbon footprint, Drizoro is proving a point. They are proving that you can absolutely manufacture elite, industrial-grade waterproofing chemistry while simultaneously honoring a deep, real commitment to lowering global carbon emissions. This brilliantly illustrates our final thought today. How can sustainable building practices and modern materials go hand in hand to protect both our infrastructure and our planet? Through innovations like MaxSeal Flex, we can lock out the destructive forces of water and save buildings from premature demolition. And by demanding that companies meet vital sustainability milestones, like that 2024 Carbon Footprint Registry Seal, we ensure the production of those very materials protects our climate. It's a powerful intersection of chemistry, construction, and conservation. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope it sparks some truly great ideas for your next project.